Okay, tell me your names.
I'm Andrea. I'm Jade.
Jade?
Yeah.
Okay. And tell me about this new proficiency module process.
Well, you start on module A1, and then you progressively work towards through the modules at your own pace,
Uh-huh.
and you go and ask her questions if you don't understand it, and you just basically work at your own pace, and you get creative and you learn new stuff.
Okay.
Like some of the modules, you can be really creative and make a poster, and some of them, you have to create your own new government, like we did. And with that, once you're done with that, you're going on to things like finding things about the rise of Islam.
So last year you had the traditional model where the teacher kind of lectures at you and you do a worksheet, or you read something and you do an essay, or pretty routine stuff. How is this better or worse?
It's better because you can work at your own pace, and you don't have to you get at least a week to work on it, and you don't.
Speak up.
You get at least a week to work on it, and you can take your time and get creative.
But in that week, you're doing the same amount of work you would if you had to be lectured at and then do an essay or read a book and write a review. You're doing the same amount of work. It's just that she's giving you long-term goals instead of the short-term, day-to-day goals. So you're still doing the same amount of work, or even worse, more, right?
You are probably doing a little bit more work because you have to do your own research and do your papers and look up all your own stuff and get all your resources together.
Uh-huh. But it's okay because you feel like you have more what is it about working at your own pace that's so
inviting? It feels
inviting?
like you have more control over your own learning and you can learn more.
Okay, now I almost coached you into saying that. I shouldn't have said you have more. But is that true?
Yeah.
I don't want him to think that I prompted you in this. You really do feel like you have more control?
I do.
Okay. So let's say somebody wanted to ask you about your critical thinking skills compared to last year. Do you think this process builds critical thinking skills?
I think it does.
How?
Because you learn at your own pace and you're learning all different types of things, like about feudal Europe, Islam, and stuff like that.
What do you think about critical thinking?
I think we have more critical thinking than last year because you can
Speak up.
the teacher's not standing in front of the class and telling you all this stuff. You can take it in at your own pace.
The own pace keeps coming up as a theme, even though I see you guys doing more work this year and scoring higher on your tests than you were last year. So I'm confused why this own pace thing seems like it seems like a big deal to you, but in fact you're doing more work than you did last year. So tell me about that.
I think it's because that when there's an actual teacher standing up and lecturing you about work, I think that makes kids not want to do their work more. When they can work at their own pace, they feel like they can be free and do their own work at their own pace.
But the teacher and the assistant both check your work every day to see if you're progressing, and if you're not, they kind of say you need to work a little faster, right?
You're right.
So they're still monitoring your work.
Right.
But it still feels like you have more freedom?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, thank you.